Hi guys, welcome back to our second episode of GDF Diaries. Today I am joined by the beautiful Ceri. I've known Ceri for about over a year now.
Yeah.
We work together for the same company, and honestly I think she's amazing. She's
You're
my work
amazing.
bestie. So tell us a little bit more about yourself, where you're from, what you do, stuff like that.
Okay, so I'm originally from Bristol, moved in 2015. I'm a mum of 5 and I'm a domestic abuse practitioner, so I'm based in a refuge, and that's how I met Jackie.
Yes. Okay, let's just go straight into it. So can you tell us about what you've been through, your experiences, what type of abuse you've experienced, and yeah.
Okay, so I got married very young. I got married at the age of 18.
Crazy!
I know. I don't advise it. I was very young. I fell pregnant with my daughter at the age of 17, and me and her dad got married when I was 7 months pregnant. And we got married, and then she was born 2 months after we got married. He was okay in the beginning, like they are. He was alright, and then he started to become more abusive when I was pregnant.
Would that be like verbally or physically as well?
Everything.
Wow.
So it was really hard, like my first pregnancy, first proper relationship. I didn't really know that it wasn't really the norm. And obviously I was pregnant with my daughter at the time. So just trying to get through it really. Yeah. So he was very abusive.
So what kind of happened? What happened after that? Like when he started getting abusive and like...
It was, a lot of it was centred around when he was drinking.
Okay.
So if he would go out and watch the football, I would also watch it too when I was at home. So I'd try and gauge the mood he would be in when he got home. So if they lost,
you already knew it's
game over. So yeah, he would come back and it was very abusive, very violent. He used to strangle me a lot, so I've got like a real thing about my neck. I don't like roll necks or anything. I'll get quite triggered. Very abusive. He'd come home and just randomly just kick me and my baby out of the flat, and just have us walk in the streets in the middle of the night. He used to threaten to throw acid in my face. It wasn't good. And I was so young as well that I didn't really know what to do for the best, really.
Yeah.
It never occurred to me to call the police or reach out for help.
Because, like you said, you felt like it was normal.
It was the norm.
Yeah.
And if I reached out to like, a family member, they would just say, "This is married life, just keep your mouth quiet and this won't happen." So I always felt like it was my fault.
So when did you decide like enough is enough, I've got to leave? Like,
okay, so I went on to have another daughter with him, and the breaking point with him was we were having an argument, and my youngest daughter was in her car seat, and she was only about 2 months old, and he just like threw his bowl of cereal at the wall, but it all smashed, and like all parts of the wall and the bowl and all the cereal and the milk all fell on my daughter, and she was only like 8 weeks old. And she was just there, and she had like all smashed bowl in her hair and milk dripping down her face, and something just snapped, and that was it. I left him that day, and that was it. I never looked back, really.
That's good. Okay, so next, tell me more. What was your story after that, after you left him?
Okay, so I was then a single mum for a few years.
How did you cope?
Loved it.
Okay.
We were just free from abuse. I was free to do what I wanted. I could raise them how I wanted. I wasn't scared anymore.
Gain confidence back, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
In that time. Okay.
Yeah, and then when I was 26, I met my second husband.
Nice.
Husband number 2. Yes. He was completely different. He was like my Prince Charming. He wasn't violent, he wasn't abusive, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm safe. But then he was just working his way into my life more and more. He took my bank cards, he took over my bank accounts. He said that I was stupid, I wasn't able to like be a mum properly without him helping me. If we'd go food shopping, he would take things out of the trolley and just...
Very controlling.
Yeah, I wasn't able to do anything, and it just got worse and worse to the point where I didn't even know who I was anymore. And I would say to myself, I'd rather the physical abuse sometimes, because I knew it was coming, I knew what to expect, and I would get over it until the next time. But with my second husband, it was completely different, because it was like he was inside my head.
So it's like coercive control, basically.
Oh God,
like controlling you financially.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's crazy.
But he played it that he was taking care of us, and no one else would want me. I should be grateful to have him, and he used to say, oh, you're lucky I don't do to you what your first husband did to you.
Wow.
I don't blame him for doing that, you deserved it. And obviously I fell pregnant again with my son, my little boy, and then my second son as well.
So how long was you with him for?
3 years.
That's quite a while.
Yeah.
So what caused you to leave him, should I say?
There was an incident with a member of his family, and I felt like he betrayed me and the children. And I think when it comes to me, I will take the abuse. But as soon as something happens and one of my children could get harmed, I seem to just like wake up.
Yeah.
And I did.
Because they're like your world.
Oh my God, yeah, totally.
Okay.
So I left him when I was about 3 months pregnant with my second son. So I was kind of stuck in the middle of nowhere, because he'd made me move away from everybody in a property that was in his name.
Right.
So I really had to claw back my life. I didn't know how to pay my bills anymore. I didn't know how to use my bank card anymore. I think in the time I was with him, Chip and Pin came out.
Yeah.
And I'd be in a shop going to sign, and they'd be like, where have you been for 3 years?
You're not.
Yeah.
We moved on.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I did it. I got a new property, and then because I'd taken that control back for him, he really upped the ante.
Okay.
And he found me at the new property and broke in. And they basically said to me that I wasn't safe. I think he's very clever. He was a different type of perpetrator, so he was very manipulative. He could manipulate people around me. He could get people to follow me as well.
Right. Other people were following you?
Other people were following me.
Wow.
He was hacking my accounts. So social services just said...
That's actually some crazy shit.
Yeah, so they told me to move away and go into a refuge, because he was making threats that he would take my sons out of the country to Pakistan.
Wow.
So that scared me a lot, because that was like a completely different
different
kettle
level.
fish.
Yeah.
So we packed up and we went in a day to a refuge 300 miles away. So that was massive for me. I
That is crazy.
left everyone behind.
You're so brave.
And that's how I ended up.
Oh, bless you. So, how was refuge life for you? Like, how? Because many women thought, like, our job. Whenever you mention refuge, most people don't even want to go, even though they're in a horrible situation and they don't want to go. So, what's it like?
It's tough. It's tough. I was with 4 children in one room. There's different women from all different walks of lives, different experiences, children who've been through different things. And you're all in one little pressure pot, and it's hard. My daughter had heart surgery when we lived there, so I was just trying to just get through, getting rehoused and getting her through her heart surgery. And I was offered a lot of counselling, domestic abuse programmes, and I just shut it all down. I just couldn't do it.
Because you had something big going on.
Of course. And in hindsight, I should have taken that help.
Why did you say that?
because I came out of refuge.
I'm here for it.
I came out of refuge and I met another perpetrator.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
it's not funny, but go on, girl.
Why not? So I met my little girl's dad and got pregnant with my youngest child. And he became violent again during my pregnancy.
Right. No, I don't know. Anyway, during your pregnancy, like, leave me alone, like.
It's meant to be the time when
you're the sweetest,
like to take care of someone. I see someone who's pregnant, and I'm just like,
let me carry you.
Yeah, let me wrap you up in cotton wool. And
but maybe they see. I don't know, but I'm trying to understand because they must know that. Yeah, you're most vulnerable. Maybe
you're most vulnerable, and there's that jealousy aspect of another person being in the picture. Apparently, I don't know. I don't understand it, but
should have gone to that counselling.
I'm joking.
We're gone.
So yeah, I was about 4 months pregnant with my little girl, and we'd got into an argument. He was the biggest cheat known to man, so we would argue a lot. Like, he just had the worst roving eye going. And so we were having this particular argument one day, and he strangled me. And that was the first time I ever called the police.
Wow.
So called the police came, he was arrested, and social services got involved.
Do you feel like because of your past experiences that you had that, you know, I don't know, you felt empowered to finally actually contact the police?
Yeah, I did feel empowered, but with that came the involvement of social services. They said that obviously because I was pregnant and he'd strangled me, and that I had a history of repeated perpetrators, they put the children on child protection plans.
Wow. And that's people's worst nightmare, really.
Yeah, and that's why people don't reach out for help, because their biggest fear is, oh my God, I'm going to lose my kids. And that was literally me in the middle of my pregnancy with my daughter.
Yeah. Bless you.
So yeah, that was a hard time. It just meant it was just another pregnancy just overcast by and ruined by a perpetrator, and I wasn't allowed to be discharged from the hospital until social services had signed my daughter off, and I was just heartbroken. She was my 5th baby. I was an experienced mum, and I felt like I was just the worst mum in the world, because I was just being watched all the time. I had unannounced visits, and it was hard.
Kind of walking on eggshells and really you just want to breathe.
Be a mum. Yeah. So I got through that. The children went down to child in need. Case got closed. Imani's dad didn't go away, and I couldn't ask for help.
Because you were scared that...
Because when they closed me, they said, if you ever come under our radar again, these children are gone. So he knew that, I knew that, which meant that he could do what he wanted, come and go in my house, be abusive. He broke my finger. I don't know if we're working together then. That day I had the broken finger. I said that I fell downstairs.
You know what, I remember when you told me that he kept turning up at your house, so maybe I came just after that.
Yeah, possibly. So he could do what he wanted. I couldn't call the police. I was working in a refuge, helping women. I felt like the biggest fraud going, because I'm helping these women and I can't help myself.
Yeah, bless you.
He's drummed it into my head that I'm going to lose my kids, I'm going to lose my job, I'll then lose my home. So
honestly, you're just basically in a state of fear of all of that happening, wasn't you?
Yeah. So I kept it quiet. I was just kind of getting through it, letting him stay in my house when he wasn't meant to be in my house, and I was doing some training with
me. I remember that day
with Alison that day.
Yes.
And it was about stalking, and I can't remember what she said. Something about
something,
the police.
Something in it. Yeah, I remember.
And she must have just had her stalking hat on, and she said, "I think you're being stalked by your daughter's dad." She dashed me, and I came out as high risk still. So, but work were amazing, and they were really upset that I hadn't asked for help sooner, because who better to work for than a domestic abuse organisation, and they were amazing. And it was that same week he broke into my house twice.
Yeah.
Called the police both times, which is a big thing for me because I don't.
Yeah, you don't really do that.
Yeah, and got the non-molestation order, and that's it. That was a year ago now. So had a few little breaches because he likes to push his luck.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's it now. The non-molestation order's over, but he's on probation for 2 years.
Okay.
So just it's been amazing. Just nothing, no drama.
That's good. So in terms of normalization orders and stuff, many times people don't really go for it because they will say, let's see if it's going to die down. Would you encourage people to actually get them?
Absolutely. I wish I did it a long time ago. Because if he does upload a photo, like his thing was uploading photos of me or stealing my photos off social media and uploading them as his own. As soon as he did that, he messaged me, he messaged someone I knew, he'd be arrested.
That's crazy. And I feel like people don't really know the effect that it actually has. Or even in terms of if they breach, if perpetrator breaches, they're like, okay, I'm just not even, they don't call up or they don't report it and stuff.
It's so worth doing. On the fourth breach, he was arrested again and in court, and then he was put on probation. And they said to him, one more breach, you're going to prison. And I think
crazy.
that was...
I think that's really effective. And I feel like many, because people don't really know that that's actually what happens.
Yeah.
That it's like, oh, I'm just going to see if he'll leave us alone kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So how do you feel like has this affected you mentally or just in general? Like, because you said you didn't really get counselling and stuff like that. How do you feel like it?
When I was pregnant with Imani and the children were on child protection, I kind of had my hand forced that as part of my child protection plans I had to do this work.
Okay.
And it was amazing. It was so empowering. And obviously now we do the same work that we do with our clients now. So yeah, I really do recommend doing as many programs and courses and everything you can when you're in that situation, because you need to deal with your own coping mechanisms and how you are as a person and empowering yourself to deal with these situations.
Okay. And I was also going to ask you, it just came into my head actually, like in terms of your children, do you feel like it's affected them, or maybe not your youngest because she was quite young, but maybe like the eldest especially, because she must have seen a lot of you being upset and stuff like that.
Yeah, my daughter's 18 and she's very strong-willed. She's seen me go through so much stuff that God help any man who even raises his voice to her, because she's such a strong character and I'm so proud of her. But I feel sad at the same time because I feel like I've shown her how not to be and she's chosen to go the opposite way, which is sad. But she's definitely learnt from my mistakes. So
that's a good thing, I guess, because now she's like, no, I don't ever want that to happen. That's good. So also in terms, because she work with women that are going through or have just been through what you've been through. So how do you feel? Because I feel like obviously when I'm doing my job, sometimes it's hard because I've not been in that situation. So when I'm saying like I can only actually imagine. And I know sometimes probably clients feel like, you don't know what I've been through, but then for you it's like you can actually say, no girl, I can actually relate.
Absolutely. And obviously where I work in the refuge as well, and I've lived in the refuge, I think that really helps because I actually get it. Not only have I experienced domestic abuse, but I've also gone through that journey of refuge life as well, which is another journey for a victim of abuse, because refuge life isn't easy. You're kind of thrown into this strange environment, you've lost your home or your belongings, you could be far away from people that you care about. So I've been there and done that as well.
So what would you advise people going through domestic abuse or that have been through it in terms of healing or moving forward?
To reach out and ask for help. It's not as scary as you think. Refuge is always the last option for women, but it can save your life. And absolutely just reach out and ask for help and call the police if you're not safe.
when it comes to calling the police, I think that's a big issue for people.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. That's amazing. Thank you so much for coming on the show, sharing your story. I really think you're amazing. Like, you're so strong. Like, you don't even understand. When obviously, you used to kind of say, I've been through this, I've been through that, but when I hear the full story, it's like, when someone looks at you, they wouldn't even know that you've been through that. It's really weird. I don't know. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you need to wear a sign before saying, this is what I've been through, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, like, you know, but it's like, it's amazing because some people, they go another way in life. Do you get what I'm saying? You could have been super depressed, don't want to get up, you don't even want to work, stuff like that. And people wouldn't even blame you. Do you get what I'm saying? Because it's like you've been, but you just, every morning, hey girls, go and get my nails did. Come on kids, 500 kids walking up behind you. But you get what I'm saying? Like, it's so lovely. Like, it's really empowering and I'm just like, wow, you are amazing. I got a little something, something. It's a bit like I didn't have sellotape, so I didn't get to. It's not. We're making requests. There you go. Nothing much. Just say thank you for coming up on the show, and
I'm so proud of you.
Well,
I love you.
Thank you. So that was our second episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you come back. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below. And we'll be back next month. See ya.